happy first day of spring, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majestic back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather Studios with your weather update here on your March the 20th, 2026. Well, we're definitely in store for a great weekend. In fact, it's going to be unusually warm. I know it's the first full weekend of spring, but it's going to feel more like May. Those temperatures are going to be well above normal, especially as we head into your Sunday. Limited rain chances, and it looks like we're in store for maybe a slight cool down next week before we kind of go back up again later in the work week. Now, before we get into this full report, if you live anywhere across North Georgia and you're new here to our YouTube channel, let me introduce myself. I'm meteorologist Greg Majestic, and I'm on a mission to build a professional 24-hour weather channel, and I sure could use your help. It's all about the numbers right now so we can get the right sponsor to help us get the equipment we need. So please consider subscribing to the channel and make sure you hit that notification bell so you're alerted on all future weather updates, as well as any kind of live severe weather coverage that we always do here, especially since the month of April is just around the corner. So please help us out. Again, it doesn't cost you anything. All right, let's go and get into this here as we take a live look there at Brasstown Ball, looking very nice. A lot of blue skies, a few high clouds here and there, looking very nice and delightful here for this afternoon. Also down here in Braselton, looking pretty good as well. Temperature already up to almost 68 degrees with all that blue sky, looking very nice indeed. Lake Chattooga up there in North Georgia, it's probably a good weekend to go and get that boat ready for the upcoming spring. You had done so, maybe work out some of the kinks there and check out some of the area lakes across the area, looking pretty good there, although this lake's a little bit low. It's starting to come back up a little bit. Radar is clear for the moment. However, I do want to point this out here going this weekend. Anywhere up here in these northern counties in here, especially getting up into East Tennessee, might see a stray shower or a thunderstorm. Again, nothing too widespread. Everybody, most general, will be on the dry side, but I just want to throw that out there just so you folks are tracking. Now, satellite picture showing we got a lot of clear skies. Got a few high clouds here coming back over through Alabama, but looking pretty good across our area. And I expect a lot of sunshine tomorrow with a few clouds as well for tomorrow as well. Temperatures today are going to top out in the 70s, and then we're looking at 80s as we go into Saturday and Sunday. Right now, we got high pressure here, firmly in control here. You got one over here off the Carolina coast, and the one here off near New Orleans, and you got this basically westerly and southwesterly wind here that's going to keep us on the warm side. This big dominant heat dome out to the west, some of the fringe effects of this are going to be impacting us, and that's why the temperature is going to be so warm, especially as we go into your Sunday. So let's go look at our forecast, get you up ready for the weekend. Now for tomorrow morning, we're going to see morning lows here generally sitting here in the 50s, so looks like the lower 50s here to begin for the most part. And then your afternoon highs here, again, looking quite warm here as we go into 5 o'clock. We got a lot of 80s here across the area. So 83 up there in Chattanooga, 82 over in Athens, 80 over there next to Canton. So a warm day to say the least. Precipitation-wise, again, we got a slight chance you might see some stuff here going into late Saturday. You see some of this green in here, a couple of little spots coming up here. Again, very spotty. I don't think it's going to be all that too much there. Although the model is kicking up a little bit more activity here overnight, Saturday night, and into Sunday morning here across East Tennessee. Again, a few of these showers might sneak into North Georgia, but again, not a big deal here. And that'll continue into Sunday. It's going to be pretty warm, folks. We're talking temperatures getting well up into the 80s here as we go into your Sunday. All right, so let's go look at your forecast maps here. These are from our friends from the National Weather Service. Kind of watch that little timestamp there on top. So we kind of go through the days of the week here as we go on through. Again, Saturday looking pretty good. We got high pressure down here to the south. Again, just a limited chance you might see a little rain up there late in the day. In fact, the Weather Service is kind of popping that. You see a little bit of green there across Tennessee, extreme North Georgia. Not a lot there. Just really, shake a stick at there. A lot looking bad. Sunday looking good. Monday looking good. There's front coming on in. This front's going to cool us down here a little bit as we go into early next week, briefly, but I do expect us to warm right back up again as we head toward the end of the week. And then we got to watch the timing on this next cold front here. The American GFS is pretty fast with it. The European's a little slower with it. So we'll see the timing on that. That'll dictate what our temperatures are going to be like going in toward next Friday. So day 7 is subject to change there. All right, so let's look at your forecast here for tomorrow. Gainesville, 82, 56. Again, that slight chance for shower thunderstorm is going to be predominantly the northern areas. So we're talking from Blue Ridge over to Clayton, Blairsville, Hiawassee, those areas right in there. Might sneak down the LJ Dahlonega, maybe, but generally up there. And you go into western North Carolina, I think that's going to be a little bit higher up that way. Looking at your overnight lows, well above normal. Everybody here in the 50s for overnight lows with a bit of a southwesterly wind. And we're looking at temperatures tomorrow, a few upper 70s, but a lot of 80s out there. And these may be a few degrees warmer going into Sunday. I mean, like Rome may be flirting with like 87 degrees there on Sunday. Very summer-like there. Regionally, we got 80s all over the southeast, wherever you want to go. 83 in Columbus, 85 in Jackson, 85 in Memphis, as well as Nashville, 84 in Jacksonville, 81 in Charlotte. Yeah, it's just a warm, balmy day here all across the southeast. And again, we'll back the temperatures off Monday and the Tuesday. It's a slight bit cool down, getting closer to more seasonal levels there, but we warm right back up into the 70s again. The question mark will be on day 7 on the timing on the next front. That is probably subject to change there, but ultimately looking pretty dry here the next 7 days. Again, the drought index came out yesterday. Not a whole lot of change there, but with the temperatures getting warmer and really a dry period expected here right through the end of the month, expect those drought conditions to worsen a little bit. Now, the pattern does look like it gets a little more active as we go into April, and of course, we'll have to keep a watchful eyes for potential severe weather as we go through the month of April. All right, that's y'all's update for today. Again, appreciate you guys checking us out. Again, if you're not yet a subscriber, we could sure use your help with the numbers. Just all you got to do is subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let me know where you're watching from. Anywhere here across North Georgia, I'd like to know and welcome you on board. Again, you guys take it easy, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you on Monday. You guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.